Shalom Israel, and welcome to another edition of Yashar Ali's 20-minute breakdown, where I'll attempt to break down the scriptures within 20 minutes. But first and foremost, as always, you know how we do. We give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakah, Kadash, and the Akims and the elders in the highways and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity, all praises. And the elder women teaching the younger women, all praises to you too. And the camps and the solo brothers going out there, making videos, edifying the body, pushing the truth according to scriptures. All praises. Now, the lesson I want to touch on today, I want to title it Divide and Conquer. Because what you tend to find is that when brothers are out teaching and we are talking to our people, you have someone of another nation will come up and try to get in between that and try to divide us, because they will say to divide and conquer. If you can get two people, like let's say it like this, of the same lineage to go against each other, then, the battle is won. Because what happened is we are strong in numbers, but divided we are weak. And this is how the enemy has managed to overcome us for many years. They keep us divided. Now, I don't want to talk too much because I'm going to play a video. There's a video I was watching of a guy that calls himself Justin Martyr, an infamous scoffer. All he likes to do is go to Israelite camps and listen to what they're saying, and then if somebody comes up and now we go to teach one of our brothers, he likes to interject and talk over the scriptures and try to be louder than the teacher, so he can distract from the word, so the crowd that's listening starts listening to him. So he likes to stand there and put doubts in the people that the Israelites are trying to teach. Now that's a tactic that's by these so-called Christian apologetics, because he's one of them Christian so-called apologetics, just like Vocab Malone. He's one like that also. They go to other people's campsite, Israelites, because that's who they target, because they pretend they're not scared. They are scared of us uniting, and they are scared of the actual truth of the Bible coming out. When we start teaching people that the Bible is for you, the biblical Israelites, you can't be a spiritual Israelite. You don't get grafted in because you believe if you're not of the nation of Israel, which is, the sons of Jacob. So them Christians like to believe that Christians has now, replaced the biblical Israelites. So these so-called Christian apologetics, they go around and they just try to hinder people from receiving the true word. So they want to keep people in that dead Christian state that we received from Christianity, from slavery in Christianity all the way to now, and keep you in that dead state. Now this guy, his video, he titles his video "Christian Scholar Corrects the Fake Israelites," and that's how he titled it, so he can get many views. And he thinks what he's doing is correct, but it isn't, because he can't break down scriptures. He have no idea what they're saying, and he just is there to interrupt the word to make sure nobody learns the truth. That's why he's there. And what he does is what every so-called Christian apologetic does. He tries to get the crowd to go against the Israelites that stand there teaching the Bible, because they know a few verses. They can't break them down, and they don't know what they really mean. But what they try to do, they do what the regular Christianity does. This all-inclusive, everybody's, all is love and everything. So they try to divide the crowd from actually receiving the word. That is their main objective, to make sure that the crowd listening don't believe a word of what the Israelites are saying, even though the Israelites are doing precept upon precept and reading the Bible verbatim and giving the understanding and going to precepts to prove it, even though they're actually doing that, which Christians don't do. They're still trying to make sure that they keep us divided so they can constantly prevail over us. Now I'm going to play the video, and I'm just going to, I've just clipped out a bit of the video, so I can't play the whole thing. So I'm going to play the video, you watch how they behave, and then after the little clip I'm going to show, I'm going to start my timer, and we're going to get into this lesson. Now here we go, watch the video.
This man asked you what the gospel is. It's taking you 10 minutes to chuck and jive about something that has nothing to do with the gospel.
Jesus Christ read out of Isaiah.
Said nothing about you.
Isaiah was
Said nothing about you.
Look, he's
You
not
preached the acceptable
Hey,
year of the Lord right then.
I would say be swift to
That
hear
gospel.
and slow to speak.
So
Right.
here, quit speaking. Jesus, 2,000 years ago,
Look, this dude
proclaimed
slavery.
the
Let's
gospel.
read. Let's read that. Hey,
2,000 years
I'm
ago.
the spider. This dude is the fly.
Uh-oh.
That's what Jesus Christ is coming to tell us. Read that.
Where's that in the text?
I float like a butterfly, sting like a
Isaiah
bee. Okay.
61.
Isaiah 61, verse 1.
Inspired to go home and watch Muhammad Ali. What we want to know right now is what the gospel is, and it's not what you're rambling about.
The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me.
Hold on. I
He
wanna
has
talk to
anointed
you 'cause
me.
I was talking to you, and he's interrupting
Yeah,
the conversation,
and right
which
now-
is disrespectful because we're both Black, Hispanic, and Native American. Why is he?
How do you
in
know
our
what I
issues
am?
again?
Right.
How do you know what I am?
I didn't
might be
ask
Puerto
you,
Rican,
but
though.
regardless of what you
Who
are,
said you were in charge?
can I speak to you?
Yeah, but he can talk to you though.
But I don't want to deal with him.
A respectable black man. How come you're not like this man?
Okay, so you asked me what the gospel was.
Yeah.
We read what Jesus said. He was reading the gospel
2,000 years ago.
from Isaiah.
Had nothing to do with the American slave trade.
He's reading this because it's applicable to him, right? Read that.
Isaiah 61.
Jesus was taking over
The Spirit.
to Israel. Huh?
Ask him to call. Isaiah 61.
Isaiah 61, this is where Jesus was reading. Go ahead.
The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me,
Does it sound familiar? Isn't this what he was reading?
because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty.
Now there you go. That's the gist of it. I mean, if you want to watch the rest of it, you can see it on the screen, so you can go to that channel and you can watch it. But that's the gist of it. Anyway, with that said, now I'm going to get into this lesson. I'm going to start actually my lesson with Revelation chapter 12 verse 12. That's going to be my opening verse. Revelation chapter 12 verse 12. And then we're going to go into some other scriptures. I'm going to read you something as well from the Willie Lynch letters, Making of a Slave. And then, we're going to see how we go for time. So I'm going to start my timer in 3, 2, 1. Boom, here we go. Let's go. The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. And it reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time." Now there's the verse right there. And you see that when you look up the word devil, it just means deceiver or adversary. So you see, these people, these so-called Christian apologetics, just like Vocab and a lot of the others, they are deceivers, but they know they have a short time because this truth is coming out. They are commissioned to stop this truth at all cost. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. Listen to this. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3, and it reads, "The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know. My people does not consider." Now you see that? So like the Israelite brother was talking to another brother, but then the deceiver keep interjecting and trying to throw him off and trying to unite with the guy listening so he can now go against the guy teaching. That's the whole plan. And you see, the problem with our people, we haven't yet realized, we keep still falling for the okie doke. Those people, those other people, the other, races, they don't care about us, the other nations. They've had us, every one of them nations had us in slavery and in derision. We are looked down upon, every one of them. So when he's coming up now, making it seem like he's trying to fight for you, he ain't. He's trying to keep himself above you by keeping you away from the true understanding of the Bible. Now, one thing we have to remember, all the prophets in the Bible, even the prophets of the New Testament, Paul, the Messiah, and Peter, and all those other prophets, they all was about their people and their nation. There was not any time that they ever was for the other nations. Even Paul was the apostle to the Gentile, but you have to realize those Gentiles were Israelite foreigners and strangers, those that who'd lost their identity, just like a lot of us today, even myself, lost my identity. Now we're coming back to it by proving it in the Bible who we are, because we fit the prophecies and and the promises are for us. I'm going to read the book of Romans chapter 10 and verses 1 to 2. Listen to this. Romans chapter 10 verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved. Verse 2, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Now, that really goes great with Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3, what I read earlier, where it said, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know, my people does not consider. Because the dumb animal as an ox and an ass, they know who they belong to and where they come from. But the Israelites, the real Israelites, we don't even consider. We're happy being black, Caribbean, African American, Jamaican, colored, Haitian, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and such like. We're happy being those names and those things that were put upon us in slavery. We're happy to be them. But when we've been told we are the biblical Israelites, now we have a problem with that. Because the Bible teaches us exactly who we are. That's the only way we're going to know. We have to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and stop letting these other nations divide us. Because once we're divided, we are conquered. Now, I'm going to quickly read something from the book, The Willie Lynch Letters and the Making of Slaves. Now, listen to this, yeah? I'm going to just read something from page 6 and page 7. Now, watch this, yeah? This is, it reads, I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, listen to this, I use fear, not fear, I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. I'm going to jump down a bit. It says, on top of my list is age. Yes, it uses age. I'm going to just jump down a bit more. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, size of plantation status. Now, I'm going to jump now onto page 7. Listen to this now. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Now listen to this. This is how they divide. And once you divide us, we are conquered. Watch this, yeah? Don't forget you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. I'm going to read on. Listen to this. You must also have white servants and overseers who distrust all blacks. But it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love and respect. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Then he goes on to say, gentlemen, these kits are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. Now you see that? That's how they use, this divide and conquer method to keep us divided against each other. Now, this is like from the Willie Lynch letters and Making of a Slave. Now, this was done throughout slavery to make sure they divide us and we cleave to them. That method was Christianity and white Jesus. That's what we were given to make sure we stay docile. And this is why anytime we come out and teaching, these so-called Christian apologetics love to come up to the Israelite campsites and teach or try to interrupt and, get the crowd against the teacher to keep us. They want to make sure they keep us in Christianity, because that was supposed to keep us loving them, trusting them, saying we're all equal, God is love, and everybody hold hands, kumbaya, even though they weren't holding your hand, but you were expected to hold theirs unto death. Now the same thing is happening all over, but in differences. A lot of these so-called Christian apologetics, that a lot of them who go out claiming they're proving the Israelites are fake. A lot of them are Caucasians or, but they're normally of another race, yeah? I mean, there are some of our own people, but the scriptures teach us that among our own people, we're going to have wicked men. That's just how it is, yeah? But these are the things they use to divide and conquer us. Now, with that said, I'm going to read the book of Acts, chapter 5, verses 38 to 39. Listen to this. Acts chapter 5 and verse 38. And it reads, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For it is, listen to this, for if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. Verse 39. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against the Most High. And that's why these so-called apologetics, these Christian apologetics, can't defeat the word that the Israelites are pushing out. They can slander us and say we're fake Israelites and this and that, but they can't defeat the word, yeah? Because they can't go to any scriptures to refute what we're bringing out. All they can do is misuse scriptures to try to say, well, it's not saying that, or talk over us, or try to be louder, or bring confusion to the campsite. But they can't overthrow it, because this is the word of the Most High, and you cannot beat or refute the word of the Most High. I'm going to jump to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 13 to 14. Listen to this. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 13, and it reads, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? Verse 14, so one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? Now that's a perfect scripture there. So showing you, if you align yourself with these Christian apologetics, when you get what you get, don't complain. Because those people and Christianity has never been for us. Yeah. So if you want to stay in that doctrine that they push every Sunday in their Christian church, or, even the Jehovah's Witnesses, or the, not Jehovah's Witness, the Seventh-day Adventists, that's what I was trying to say. Even the Seventh-day Adventists, even though they may worship like on the Sabbath, but their doctrine and their teaching is still incorrect. So if you want to go in unto them and then, you come a cropper, then it's on you because you've been warned. This truth is going out there. There's brothers on the streets teaching all over the globe. Find one of them brothers and learn, and don't let these so-called apologetics come and throw you off. What you need to do is rebuke them and show them that you're not aligning with them, and send them packing and learn. Come back to who you are, keeping the commandments with the faith of Yahushua, the one you call Christ, and and it will be well with us as a nation. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Psalms, chapter 106, verses 35 to 36. Listen to this. Psalms 106, verses 35, and it reads, "But were mingled amongst the heathen, and learned their works." Verse 36. "And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them." So you see, when you're in Christianity, because remember, Christianity, what's the symbol? Wooden cross. That's an idol because you do bow down to it. You kiss it and do whatever. And some people do this Hail Mary or whatever. But that's all in Christianity. And that's an idol. And that is a snare unto us because the Most High never gave us religion whatsoever. Religion was never given to the Israelites. Religion came after, via the Romans. That's where religion came in, like properly, I would say, as in Christianity. But we were given laws, statutes, and commandments that we're supposed to follow that govern our nation. That's what we were given, not Christianity. So these Christian apologetics that's coming out trying to divide you from coming back to who you are, you need to rebuke them, show them that you're not with them. That's what you need to do, and you need to do it sharply. Now I'm going to jump to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verses 10 to 11. Now listen to this. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10, and it reads, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Verse 11, "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed." See that? The Bible warns you. It says, "Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away." Verse 12, listen to this carefully. "Set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And listen to this, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked wherewith." Now you see that the Bible warns us about these other nations, because even when you go to Psalms chapter 83, even when you go there, it shows you there that the enemies of Israel has made a tumult, a noisy gathering. They've consulted together. All these nations came together to destroy us. And when you jump down to verse 6 of Psalms chapter 83, the first one comes up is the tabernacles of Edom, and that's the so-called Caucasian today. So you see, showing you they're the main ones that destroyed us. The second main one is the Ishmaelites, which are the Arabs today. They're the second on the list. And look at that. The first one on the list is the Caucasians. And what do they bring? Christianity. The second on the list is the Ishmaelites. And what do they bring? Islam. So you see, those are the main two. The Bible warns us to be wary of them people, or rather them nations. And the funny thing is that this kind of reminds me of a kung fu film that I watched many years ago. Now, there were these two masters. They were brothers. One was a master of Wing Chun. The other one was a master of what they call five-star fists. Now, this bully came in. He was a kung fu expert, this bully. And he was like really giving a lot of trouble to the residents of this town. Now, those two brothers that were masters of their each style joined together and used their style and beat this bully. Now, in all this jubilation, when everybody was happy that this bully was beaten, this bully went to one of the brothers, and whispered in his ear, the Wing Chun expert whispered in his ear saying that I would have beaten him, meaning the other brother, if it wasn't for your help. And then what he's gone and done, he's secretly gone to the other brother, the one that was a master of the 5-style fists, and whispered in his ear saying, I would have beaten him, meaning your brother, if it wasn't for your help. And then what happened is, the other brother saw him whisper something in his ear. So then the other brother said to the other brother, what did he just say? So then the other brother said, oh, he would have beat. He didn't even said, he just said, he would have beaten you if it wasn't for my help. Then the other guy said, what's that? You couldn't have beaten him without my help. And then they argued, and then they split up. They argued, and then boom, the brothers, they divided and they split up from each other. Now that's a perfect example of divide and conquer, because now when he comes back and he fights them, they're no longer fighting together. They're fighting individually. So he's got more chance of beating them, because remember, they beat him together. Now, when he comes back to fight them, they'll be fighting alone, because now they've fallen out. And that's how, you divide and conquer and you beat them. Yeah? Now, with that said, listen to this. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 16, and it reads, An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So you see that? He'll give you sweet words, but any opportunity you get, he will do you in. Now, I'm almost about to be out of time, so I want to quickly bring this next scripture before I time out. Listen to this. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verses 14 to 15. Listen to this. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 14. And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man, and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. Verse 15. Yet count him not as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother. Now, this really is for our own people that come against us. So you don't have to cuss him out and say, oh, you'll be put to death and all that. No. You correct him in the scriptures, but you still know that man is your brother. But see the other nations, you can now admonish them, boom, outrightly. Well, Israel, I'm about to time out, so I think I made my point, so I think I'll call it here before my timer goes. So this is Yasharallah. With that, we out.